camera off if you want to as well. Okay? All right, and at this time, we should be beginning recording. I'm gonna just exit there so that way I can go ahead and see the screen. So again, welcome everybody. I'm so happy that you are here and able to join us today on this Friday. Hopefully you're staying cool and indoors. I think it is a little warm out there. So we are going to be hosting our workshop for the Undeclared Academic Advising Center. Our workshop is titled Pathways and Possibilities, Your Guide to Being Undeclared, which you are all undeclared students here. I also have alongside with me our assistant director as well as our associate director of the Undeclared and Academic Advising Center as well, here to support with any questions or anything that may come up in today's session, which we'll go ahead and wait for the end to ask any questions. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and jump into our session and make sure I can click. There we go. All right. So this is a little bit of an overview of today's agenda that we'll be going over today. We will go ahead and have where you're able to go ahead and meet the team. We are not all here, not all of the advisors are here in today's session. However, we do have a nice little picture that you're able to go ahead and see us and learn a little bit more about us, as well as engage in an activity that won't be too much, but it's going to be very helpful for today's session in understanding a little bit more about a little bit of major exploration, as well as tuning in on understanding the CSUF structure, as well as the policies and timelines here at Cal State Fullerton. We'll also be reviewing some academic tools and advising and support services that we can refer for you all, as well as next steps and a little Q&A at the end. So after today's workshop, it's our goal to stay connected with you all and help you along your higher education journey. So we are going to go ahead and meet the team. So I did mention Lainey and Kathy earlier, Assistant and Associate Director of the Undeclared and Academic Advising Center. In the back, you'll see 6 advisors, which you all have been assigned to. Here in the UAAC, we are here to provide guidance for our undeclared students to help them make decisions and explore majors about your educational paths, as well as you're taking most of your general education courses through GE Advising is how we support you. And all of students are assigned to an advisor, which will go over general education, GE Advising, course registration, major exploration, resource referral, as well as interpreting academic policy. So some of those policies, we realize that students may not have to remember all of these things, but we want to make sure it's handy to know. So right now, the next step is that we're going to engage in a Mentimeter activity. So at this time, feel free to scan right here using the QR code, and you can enter this code in, and I'm going to go ahead and go to the activity as well, and it'll pull it up on another screen too. So I'm going to click out of here, stop sharing, and go to the Mentimeter. All right, and it's also on the screen right here too. So feel free to go ahead and scan this QR code. And this is an activity so that we're able to go ahead and understand which academic subject area is best fit for you. All right, so I'm seeing some thumbs up. I think we have about 5 people in here. I know there should be about 7 of us, I believe. So if you're not there just quite yet, I'm going to give a few more moments so that way you all can go ahead and get situated. Okay, we got 6 and then 1 more, I believe, should be joining. All right. Okay, we got to 7. So I'm going to go ahead and start our activity. So we're going to go ahead and go on to begin our journey. All right. So, if you would be able to choose the subject you would identify as your area of strength. Okay, math and quantitative reasoning, oral communication. Okay, math. Okay. All right. So this is really interesting to see. So we're kind of tied right now. Okay. And you can be good at both. So it's really up to you. What this allows for us to be able to do is see where some of our strengths and some of our areas of growth might be. And honestly, to be truthfully honest, I don't know how I would respond. I might have to lean more towards written and oral communication for the five of those who put that in there. That's where I would also fall as well. And so we're going to learn a little bit more about what it means to be in some of these categories. So right here, we have rank each area of study from first to eighth in order of your interest. So I can go ahead and just kind of give you a brief overview. Humanities and social sciences is mainly one of, like, we call it the College of Humanities and Social Science. And so this time might take a while. So just go ahead and rank it. You can move each of the categories to your area of focus, to your least area where, like, I'm absolutely not doing that. So for those who are maybe in who had selected like written communication was your area of strong suit, maybe you might put the natural sciences and mathematics as lower on the list versus putting something like the humanities and social sciences, which English does fall in that category, let's say, that you're interested in. So if you go ahead and you select which order, and then we can go ahead and go from there. And if, oh, okay, good. All right. I wasn't sure if we're having trouble. I wasn't seeing it move. So this is the fun part. This is the part where we can really see what students are interested in and maybe are not too familiar with which major might be associated with something that you're thinking about. This is what the point of the workshop is, to educate you on those. I kind of just want to see where we're at right now. And like I said, at the end, we have the opportunity to ask questions and go a little bit more in detail with those. So it looks like 6 of us have answered it yet, or answered it so far. We're going to go ahead and wait for 2 more to go ahead and see everybody's answers and responses. And this is just for us to see where we're at right now. And go from there. So, okay, so it's looking like more health and human development. I am biased. That's the college I graduated from Cal State Fullerton. Big shout out to them. But all the other colleges are also very awesome too. Um, so the health and human development is definitely one that's the helping profession. So it looks like we have a lot of helpers here in our workshop right now. Okay, cool. We have some more. All right, some thumbs up. That's neat. So this is what it's looking like, everybody's responses. Okay. All right. And if we didn't get the chance to go ahead and respond, that's going to be okay. I do want to make sure we have enough time at the end so that way we can ask any questions. So I am going to go ahead and jump into the next part of this activity. We are going to go ahead and look at these buckets. So some of the majors like engineering, computer science, and mathematics, natural sciences and mathematics, are pretty straightforward in them being STEM. And STEM is what it is, if you're unfamiliar, it's science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. However, sometimes with majors like business, economics, or the health and human development, it could go in either bucket. So it could be considered a STEM major, or it could be considered non-STEM. It's all going to be about which area of focus that you go ahead and that you're looking to go into. So the non-STEM majors are going to be like your College of the Arts, your humanities and social sciences, your education and communication studies as well. So this is to kind of give you an idea of where some of these majors may lie, because for our next, your bucket, you're going to have the opportunity to go ahead and fill the bucket. So I'm going to go ahead and allow you some time to look at this one more second as we go ahead and we're going to jump into filling your bucket. So go ahead and see which bucket holds more of your interest. So, um, it could change after learning a little bit more, after seeing how some of the majors can be a little versatile. It allows for you to not see things as so um, like linear. Your path can be very much like a road. It can be like a windy road and different paths that you take to overall get to a major that might suit you. And so there are some people who are in the middle where business or health, where that's going to be very common to like kind of be on either side of it. All right. So we have three, four, five. Five of us have filled it out. So we're just going to wait for the next couple of people to fill it out. And then we'll go ahead and go from there. And at the end of this, it honestly, perfect. Okay, so a lot of us are in the middle. Business or health, that is very neat to see. And I look forward to hopefully learning a little bit more from you all too and what that really looks like for everybody in the workshop. And so as I mentioned, this is really a journey just to kind of get you aware of what it might mean to be undeclared and really understanding that this is your exploration as you're doing here on your journey. It is like an actual journey that you're going on. You're exploring, you're looking at different ways, and it's all going to be about your lens and how you view everything as an opportunity to learn. It doesn't mean that you have to have everything figured out just quite yet. Um, but you're gonna go ahead and you're gonna figure it out, and we're here to support you with that. And I believe that is it. So I'm gonna go ahead and stop sharing from here. And I'm going to go ahead and go back to our presentation um, with our slides. Okay. All right, here we go. So we just completed an activity, and this was for us to get a little bit more familiar with what it looks like to explore different majors, kind of put them in a scale where we see our strengths as well as maybe some areas of growth, or maybe you're just like, absolutely not, that is not for me. But I do want to go ahead and and dive a little bit deeper in understanding the academic structures. So as we were looking at the PowerPoint or at the activity that we were doing, we were seeing that there were different names for things like College of Health and Human Development, or it just said Health and Human Development. At Cal State Fullerton, that is your overall college that you attend, Cal State Fullerton. Within Cal State Fullerton, we refer to different areas as colleges. So College of Health and Human Development, College of Business and Economics. So with some of the majors, your major will be housed in a college overall. So if you're studying something like kinesiology, public health, that is going to be housed in the College of Health and Human Development. That is going to be considered your college. And they also have cute merch in the Titan shop. So when you declare, you can also get yourself a cute little sweater, just saying, a little treat yourself moment. But it'll say something very neat as like it does here on the slide. You have College of the Arts, College of Business and Economics, College of Communications, College of Education, College of Engineering, Computer Science, Health and Human Development, Humanities and Social Sciences, and Natural Sciences and Mathematics. So there are 8 different colleges excluding the Undeclared Center. Um, and there are very different routes that you're able to go. And so to learn a little bit more about the majors within each of those colleges, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the majors through the catalog. So at this point, you can go ahead and take out your phone. You can scan the QR code, just a little bit handy for you to have and see all of the majors that we offer. I'm going to go ahead and click the link, and it'll take me there. And here we are. So on the left hand, or well, one important thing to note as you are viewing the catalog, you are going to see that there's going to be specific years. So if you're a current first year, first time student, you're going to be 2025 to 2026 catalog year. It is important to note that if you are maybe you started last year at Cal State Fullerton, then you would be 2024, 2025. It's important to select your right catalog year because different there is going to be either maybe some different changes within the college and the majors. So I want to make sure that you're aware of that. Something, and then you can go ahead and search the catalogs up here. Something to note is how we were talking about all the different colleges, they're listed all right here. If you were to select degree programs, you're going to see all of the majors listed right there. Not assigned to any college, they're just going to be alphabetized. So I want to go ahead and if somebody wants to go ahead in the chat and put maybe a college that they are looking or that they're a major that they're interested in, feel free to go ahead and put it in the chat and I'll go ahead and select that and we'll go ahead and view it a little bit more in detail. And if not, then I will just go to any college. Supply chain psychology. Okay, we got two. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead. Oh, health and human development. Okay, all right. I've been giving a lot of shout outs to health and human development. I am gonna go ahead and take a look at the humanities and social sciences, which psychology is listed in. So this is what it looks like for humanities and social sciences. I'm going to go ahead and scroll down. They are alphabetized as well. The College of Humanities and Social Sciences is a really big program that offers a lot of different majors. So you can go ahead and just see all of the different majors within here. English, linguistics, environmental studies, gender and sexuality studies. There's a whole bunch of them. History, liberal studies, modern languages. We are going to keep on going till we see the one we want, which is psychology. We do want to note that it is important to go ahead and select the bachelor. That is what you are all are obtaining your bachelor's at this moment. There is an option too where it says non-degree for minors, but we're not going to touch upon that just quite yet. I'm going to go ahead and we're just going to review the psychology overview. It is important to note for graduation, it is a requirement to have 120 units for you to graduate. So with colleges such as psychology, it may be considered a lower unit count major. So what that means is that the major requirements itself may not have, combined with the GE requirements, will not equal the 120. So you will have to take courses as general elective courses, which you can choose to take anything. You can choose to take one unit elective of like a pickleball, or you can choose something like a CPR class. There's so many different things that you can take either here or at a community college. But these are just some things to think about and just knowing that 120 units is the magic number for graduation. You will go ahead and note that a lot of major courses, when you start taking them, you will need a C or better. So it's important for you to try your best in every class as always, but especially with your major requirements, because there's a lot of prerequisites that take place, meaning classes that you have to take before other classes, and you won't be able to take those ones that you have planned for the next semester if the prerequisite is not met with the C or better. And I have experienced that myself. So it is important for you to, turn in your assignments and stay on track with everything. So on here, you're going to notice that there's things listed as lower division. So anything 1 to 200 level is a lower division course. And 9 of these units do need to be completed. So all 3 of these classes are required for the major. You'll then see that these are also required 6 units of these 2 classes. And then there's going to be other elements where it says 3 units. So it looks like you'd be able to select a course. But again, this is going to be important for you just to see an overall overview, but you can go ahead and get connected with a major advisor, which will go ahead and be one of our points that we touch upon when we go back to the presentation. But these would be some of the classes if somebody was looking to go ahead and obtain a psychology degree that they would go ahead and complete. So there are a lot of different courses. But yeah, so let's go ahead and let's jump back into our presentation. All right. So that's a little bit more about the majors, and we kind of did a brief highlight of there is a psychology minor option. But it's important to note some of the policies that Cal State Fullerton has and timelines for undeclared students. Because sooner or later, you're going to realize that each semester you're taking all these general education requirement courses, you're not going to have as many courses to take, and the time is just going to fly. And so you're gonna be looking at like, I need to take other courses. I don't know what to take. I'm not too sure about what major I want to go into. So that's why we're trying to have those conversations now. So at least we can be thinking of them and making sure that we're planning things. So at orientation, you may have heard us say, if you're even remotely thinking about declaring into business, please let us know, and please take Math 115. That's important. That's an important prerequisite for the course. Not only are you completing your general education requirements, but you're also completing a prerequisite just in the event that you were going to confirm and go into business. So some of the policies that we have here at Cal State Fullerton, and some of the questions that we normally see in our center is, when is the right time to declare? Well, the right time to declare is once you know, once you're aware, once you want to go ahead and pursue that, that is something that I would suggest, but the policy states it must be declared before 60 units. That is the magic number. You will notice that most likely you will be done with your GEs, because some of you may have brought in AP credits before you reach like the 60 units here. So it's important to stay connected with your major advisor or your advisor to go ahead and get connected to know the process on declaring, and which we'll also go over today as well. So how do you declare? So if you're looking to declare into a few different majors, there's a few different steps. So it's just going to be quick answer is there is an online form. At the end of the day, you will fill out an online form that is sent to the Office of the Registrar and gets approved, as well as the colleges. And you're able to go ahead and have your major change. It does take some time for it to process. But at the end of the day, you do have to submit the form online. However, if you're looking to go into College of Business and Economics, or if you're looking to go into the College of the Arts, there will be a two-step process, if you will. So you will first have to connect with an advisor so this can either be done in a one-on-one meeting, or you can go ahead and email them with the information. So on the screen, you can see the detailed information you will need to provide for reaching out to the business department to get approval. So you would have to just put your name, your campus-wide ID, your major of interest, as well as if you're full or part-time for the following semester. You can see the asterisk right there that it mentions that every student who goes into declaring into business, when you fill out the form, it's always going to be a pre-major. So that could be pre-business, pre-international business, or pre-economics. So it's important that you are making that note when you're filling that form out if you're looking to go into business, because if you put in just like business administration, your form will get denied. Not that you can't declare that major, it's just once you're approved. It's just that the form, when it's filled out, it needs to be pre-business. And then for College of the Arts, the reason why you do need to reach out to an advisor either through a one-on-one session or email them is because it may require a portfolio or an addition before declaring your major. And when you talked with the College of the Arts, you would go ahead and they'll let you know a little bit more about what steps you'll need to take to go ahead and make that major change. But you would fill out the form after. So they'll approve you and then you fill out the form. So this is the steps. This is how you would go ahead and declare your major. It's going to be an online form. So you can feel free to scan the QR code. There will also be handouts that are sent to you at the end later today. So you don't, so this information will also be handy for you too as well, and accessible through email. You can also access the form through the 4 steps that are listed on the right-hand side. But to be honest, if you scan the QR code, it makes it a little bit easier to access the form. It might be a little bit tricky. All right, jumping into our next portion, academic tools. So here at Cal State Fullerton, our biggest goal is, making sure all students are set up for success and letting you know all the tools that are available to you. So in the season of looking about major exploration and learning more about the different majors here on campus, you're able to go ahead and book an appointment with your designated undeclared advisor. You're able to go ahead and explore majors in more detail, and you're also able to meet with a major advisor. So For undeclared advising, we do mainly like GEs. We don't touch too much about major requirements. We do overviews, but to know the sequence of everything, if you are truly ready to go ahead and declare your major, we would also suggest that you meet with a major advisor to also ask them specifically just about that one major. So if you're looking to go into psychology, like we were looking at, you would go ahead and you're able to book an appointment with the major advisor and they'll tell you a little bit more about psychology itself. They won't do major exploration as much as we will, where we look at all the different majors that we offer here on campus. So that's one of the neat things to just note as well. So the next thing that you can go ahead and do is you're able to go ahead and take some personal steps through this. And I feel like in this season is going to be a lot of taking ownership and doing these steps on your own. Is you're going to be exploring through your GE courses. So let's say that you're taking a psychology 101 course because it's for your GE requirements. Through that course, by taking it, it's an intro to the into psychology. So you're able to see if this is the right fit for you, or if you took the course for your and you get credits for it, but you realize that that's not a right fit, then that's completely fine. You're exploring through taking these classes, but you're still projecting towards obtaining your degree at the end of the day. One of the things that I like to note that most students may not be aware of just quite yet are informational interviews. Informational interviews are really great. They are helpful with making things seem a little bit more not as scary. I feel like when I've done informational interviews, it was very much so, it was very helpful. I ended up asking one of my their counselors at community colleges, which is basically an advisor. So I was asking them at the end of the day, I was like, you know what, I really like your job. What does it look like for me to have your job? And I know that this is a silly question to kind of say, but I was able to get more information and know which path I needed to take or the route that she took to become an advisor in higher education. And so that was something that was really helpful, was just asking a lot of questions to people who had very interesting roles. I even did an informational interview with social work when I was thinking about becoming a social worker. And so it allowed for me to see what it would look like and the road it would take to get there from somebody who's immersed and actually in the field. I would also suggest that you keep attending workshops such as this. They're able to go ahead and get informed about what's happening on campus or even the different supports here on campus. You can also go ahead and we're going to go ahead and look at some more opportunities on campus for you as well. The next step that you can also take is your time and degree audit, known as your TDA. You're able to go ahead and run a what if plan. So if you're familiar with running your normal audit and you see that what if option on the left-hand side, that is something that you are able to go ahead and run based upon a major of interest. So if you're interested in, let's just say, kinesiology, then you would be able to go ahead and write down or select kinesiology, and then you put your catalog year. As I mentioned before, it's important that you select the year in which that you entered Cal State Fullerton. And then the last point is the Career Center. So the Career Center has really great services here on campus. They have a self-discovery assessment, which is able for you to go ahead and utilize. It's online and see your results. That allows for you to see maybe a major that you're or a career that you might be interested after learning about that's something that is based upon your responses. Like, oh, I never thought about going into this field, but it says based upon my responses and my interests, this would be a good fit for me. I can see that because I really do enjoy doing X, Y, or Z. So that is a really great tool to utilize. It is, you do not have to pay for it. And the links, we'll go ahead and I'll show you how to navigate everything. But also too, you can go ahead and visit the Career Center. They do offer appointments as well. So in the name itself, the Career Center is going to help you with careers. Our center in the Undeclared Academic Advising Center, we do major exploration. So we help with majors. It's a collaborative work together, but we each have different functions. So if you know a career that you want to go into, you can learn more. And they have other great services too in our Career Center, like mock interviews, looking over your resume, and great services there. But we in our center are going to help with your majors and answer some of those questions that I have on the left-hand side are like questions to consider. So in a one-on-one advising meeting with your undeclared advisor, those are some of the questions we might go over as well. So jumping into the next point, I mentioned advising, I mentioned support. So there's a lot of support here on campus. One of which I'm going to highlight the three in the Pollock Library. So if you have visited us, you know where to find us. And if you have not, we're located on the Pollock Library. The Pollock Library has a north side and a south side. So we are located, so the north side is like the side where Starbucks is at, kind of. That's kind of in the middle of us. So we're towards the windows and the research center as well. And the Student Genius Center, there's a bunch of computers where we're at. So that's where you can go ahead and you can find us. And in that same side, you're able to go ahead and see our University Learning Center, as well as our Writing Center. Those tools are really great to utilize for some of your classes that you might be wanting some extra support in. Because as I mentioned, when we are looking to do major classes, it's important to get that seen above. So if you want some more support, they offer in two different modalities. In person, you're able to go ahead and have an appointment, or also online. So the appointments can range too. If you go on a walk-in, I think basis, I think it's an only 20-minute appointment, whereas if you book online, it should be about an hour appointment you have up to. We mentioned the Career Center. They're located in Langdorf Hall at 208, and you can go ahead and go there. But the student success centers is this flyer. If you have visited us, we typically give to a lot of our students. It's going to show you where all the colleges are at. You can go ahead and meet with a major advisor in there, but these are all of the different colleges right here. You can see we're listed here down at the bottom, but I haven't really talked about College of Engineering and Computer Science, so I'm going to go ahead and click them because I really do like their layout. It's pretty user-friendly. You're able to see all their information. You can go ahead and request appointments with advisors on availability on the Navigate app. That is an app that we normally use and we use in our center too as well. You're able to see where they're located, their hours of operation, as well as their email. Scheduling, they walk you through that and the services that they offer. And then if you scroll down, you're able to see all of their faces, as well as how to book an appointment and join a Zoom. So go ahead and feel free to utilize those services and get connected with a major advisor. So let's go back to our PowerPoint. So next, your undeclared advisors, the UAC advisors. So you can see all of our wonderful pictures right here with our names. And so each of you have been assigned to one specific advisor. So you would be able to go ahead and get connected with them. You should have received an email from us, from our center. You're here today, so I know you were able to go ahead and get acquainted with our center email itself. So our role as an academic advisor is to support our caseloaded students with GE advising as well as major exploration. So you're able to book a one-on-one appointment with us using this book an appointment link. These appointments are for undeclared students only. You would be able to go ahead and use that Navigate app and select the care unit of advising, and the service would be academic advising. So it's important to know that we are here and available to you. We do offer walk-in services, but it is not guaranteed that we will be there on a walk-in basis. It's great for you to book an appointment with us, so that way we can go ahead and that time is designated for you. And then you can see us just being silly up here at the top right-hand corner because we like to have a good time. We have a lot of fun videos on Instagram. So if you're not following us, that is something what to do next that I didn't put in our slide, but feel free to follow us on Instagram as well. So aside from following us, watching our trendy videos, you can also go ahead and meet with your assigned advisor. So also too, it's important to meet with your specific advisor. You will only be able to book an appointment with your assigned advisor. You won't be able to book an appointment with another advisor. You could meet with an advisor, a major advisor from the Student Success Center, that link that we were looking at for the College of Engineering and Computer Sciences and Engineering. But yeah, you can go ahead and book an appointment with them following their steps in their guide. You could also attend major exploration workshops that we host in the future, going more in depth about the different majors here on campus and more specifics. You can also go to the Career Center. And the last two I'm going to spend a little bit more time on because I'm going to take you to the links. So as I mentioned, kind of getting involved is attend resource and internship fairs. I loved going to the fairs here on campus. This is where I was able to find my internship. Some colleges that you go into might host their own, but Cal State Fullerton itself hosts a big fall internship and career expo. And there is one upcoming October 2nd. Um, and it's going to be located in the TSU. And also too, you're gonna get a lot of free like goodies as well. So that's a cool way to also go. But most importantly, you're gonna get acquainted and networking with with individuals that are that you can also explore and ask some of these questions. Remember, I was talking about informational interviewing. Maybe it might not be a super long thing, but you can ask some questions so you can see if that might be a job that you're interested in going into and what it would look like what major to get you to there. So you can pick their brains a little bit more about that as well. So that's one of our upcoming internship and career expos. You can see that they have events already planned out for 2026. So having this handy would be really good for all the different career fairs and stuff that they have, that we have here on campus. Another one that we have that I wanted to highlight is getting involved, joining a club, getting involved on campus, and the link takes you directly to one's Human Services Student Association. So some colleges will have a club embedded, or not embedded, but like you do have to join it and part of the major. The reason why I chose this one is because not all of the organizations or like clubs had public events, but this one did have a public event that I was able to show you. So you're able to see that they're active, that they have on Thursday, they have this event going on. And then if you scroll down, you're able to see that there's like different documents as well. So if you kind of just wanted to read a little bit more, but if you were to scroll and then go to the orgs right here, you're able to see all the different organizations here on campus. And then just click and learn a little bit more. So yeah, there's a lot of different clubs. So feel free to go ahead and give that an overview and search and just find a way to get involved. I was a part of some that were part of my major, but I genuinely feel like I should have done maybe a little bit more. I did transfer and I was a commuter student, so I feel like I was a little shy at first, but that's why I tell you all to utilize the services because now I don't want you to be put into a place where you're like, oh, I should have done, would have, could, whatever. Just get involved, connect, join workshops as you are. Just get involved here on campus. But yeah, we want you to stay connected with us. So we're located in the Pollock Library, PLN1. This is our website that you're able to go ahead and view and see. That's where you can book an appointment with your advisor. You can also use it through the Navigate app. It'll redirect you to the Navigate app if you book an appointment. I would suggest that we do have our email right here. So that's how you're able to go ahead and you probably got information for signing up for this workshop, but emailing your academic advisor would probably be best just because they will get back to you probably a little bit sooner because on our AcAdvise email, it's a rotation of us and we have different hours that we check it. So just stay connected with, you can always stay connected with us as well as your academic advisor as well. But since we're wrapping this up and I want to leave some time for questions, but we do have a post survey. So if you could at this time, go ahead and fill out this post survey. This allows for us to develop programming and what to host for upcoming workshops. And I do really read those notes. So if you have anything and some feedback you want to provide in the comments, like in the suggestions, please fill that out. I try to improve each workshop as we go. So feel free to go ahead and fill that out. It helps us help you all out and host different workshops that we will be having. And we do have an upcoming workshop, a little save the date here, in the month of October. We're going to be going over registration, where to find your registration date, assigned date to you, also to like any holds you may have, and looking at your title and degree audit, and knowing what classes to register for, and getting you connected with your or your undeclared advisor as well. So yeah, so please fill the form out. It shouldn't take too long, and I'm gonna go ahead and also just leave it on here. But if you have any questions, we can go ahead and go over that as well. You can feel free to unmute yourself, or you can drop them in the chat too. And I think at this time, Kathy, I'm gonna go ahead and if you want to end the Zoom or the recording, so that way students can